What is going on, everyone? My name is Alpha, and today we're back with another Pokemon challenge video. Today we're on Pokemon X, and our challenge today will be, can we beat Pokemon X using only status move only? Now, I've done this in the past on Pokemon Fire Red, and you guys enjoyed that a lot, so I'm gonna try my luck on this game on X and Y. And there's a lot of critics saying that X and Y is too easy, so let's challenge it up. Let's mix it up. Let's make it a bit harder, you know. And this is probably one of the better challenges to do so, and you guys will find out why it's such a interesting challenge, I'll say the least. So we're not going to use any physical moves, any special moves. We're stuck with the third option, which is status moves only. I do not consider struggle a status move, so we can't use struggle on itself, and struggle is already nerfed on this generation, so we can't even use struggle for ourselves. We can catch whatever Pokemon we want, we can use any Pokemon we want, we can evolve any Pokemon we want. We're just stuck using status moves, just like the original video. And as well, we have all the Pokemon nicknamed accordingly. Thank you everyone for leaving comments in the comment section with nicknames I could use for my Pokemon. Greatly appreciate it. It makes this challenge a bit more fun and more personable. Here are all the nicknames I picked out from the comments, so thank you so much. If you want to be nicknamed after a Pokemon in my future videos, obviously just leave it in comments and I'll pick it eventually. You know, you just keep repeating and I'll eventually pick it. Also, don't forget to leave a like, comment down below some challenge ideas, and also subscribe if you guys are not already. And before we get into the challenge, I want to say one more thing. I want to address this comment left in my previous video. It brings up fair points. So it's just basically saying that just take my time making my videos. No point in making a lot of videos in a week with the same game over and over. And obviously it's not hate. I mean, they obviously care for my channel, and I want to say thank you so much for obviously leaving this comment. It means a lot that you care about my channel this much. I will try my best. I have a set schedule. I want to keep it consistent. I want to keep making videos and pumping out videos, so I'll try my best to make better quality videos, but I also want to keep up the consistency. So anyways, outside of that tangent, thank you so much for the criticism. I understand that my last video wasn't the best video, so I'll obviously try to be better from now on. And obviously, if you guys do have criticism for me, I'll obviously, you know, I won't shy away from, you know, acknowledging it. I'll address it maybe in the comments, maybe in the video, but obviously that one hit a bit home because that last video of mine with the Tracy team wasn't the best, and I agree with that. So anyways, let's get into the challenge itself finally. So to begin, we're on Pokemon X, and our first Pokemon will be Chespin. Now the problem with Chespin is that it doesn't have an attacking status move that we could use just yet. So the problem is that we have to take a bunch of L's for us to actually get through the game. So for starters, we're gonna have to lose to Shauna. We're gonna lose to a Froakie, which is, you know, fine. In this game, you actually get XP for catching Pokemon, so that's a really cool thing we could do. So I'm gonna intentionally catch some decently cool Pokemon. I'm gonna catch a Scatterbug just in case, you know, just have it because it can learn some, you know, status moves. But obviously I'm trying to get my team up because I want some sacrifices throughout my run, because the first trainer is a required trainer right outside the forest where we need to be to get our Pokemons trained up. So the first trainer that's required to fight, it has a level 5 Zigzagoon, and to get through it we have to beat it. Now we can't beat it traditionally with our attacking moves. I could cheat and just, you know, axis fight and just like attack, but I'm gonna use a different strategy. I'm gonna lower its attack using my Chespin, using Growl, and then slowly drain its PP out of its team very slowly. And it takes a little while, but eventually once I drain all the PP using all 6 of my Pokemon, it will actually start struggling, and once it starts struggling, it will actually kill itself, and then it will knock itself out, and we get the XP for it, and the first trainer is actually done. Now, if we do that for every single trainer in the game, that will be hell. So to rectify this, the best way to level up in the game is actually going to this forest, because this forest has some Pokemon that are pretty low level that yield some nice XP, and we can make it struggle very easily. Specifically speaking about Kakuna and Metapod, if we encounter one of those, we could just easily make it struggle and knock itself out easily. As well with the monkey Pokemon, if we could drain out their scratch, and then that'll be it from, because they only have 2 moves, and then they'll struggle themselves to death, and then that's it. Unfortunately, I actually trained up the Spewpa into a Vivillon, and the Vivillon actually ends up having no status moves at all. So I mean, that got me frustrated, so I had to go back and train up the Chespin instead. I was relying on the Vivillon to get actual, you know, nice moves, some decent moves for us. I was wrong. I was completely wrong. But now I have to train up the Chespin, and once I get the Chespin actually level up all the way by making this Pansage struggle to death, we get level 15, which we get Leech Seed. Leech Seed is a status move that plants seeds on your opponent Pokemon that drains HP over time. I think 1/16 of their max HP. So obviously it's gonna be a process. But from there we're actually gonna head into the first gym, which our chestman actually evolves to Quilladin. I'm not a big fan of the chestman line, but you gotta do what you gotta do for a challenge, and we gotta use chestman and the entire line of chestman. So we're gonna head into the first gym fight of the game, which is Viola, the bug type gym leader. And Viola is not too much of an issue because, so first off, I'm gonna obviously just Leech Seed down the Surskit, but also use Growl to knock down his physical attack. I'm gaining back my HP through the turns, so I'm not really losing anything from here. I'm using max speed on this. This is like 4 times speed. So quickly we knock out the Surskit, and as well the Vivillon comes out to come after us, but luckily we Leech Seed that and Growl it down. From there we gain our HP and we beat Viola, the first gym leader of the game. From there we're gonna do a lot of side missions, and then we're gonna get the EXP share as well. From there we're gonna actually head into Professor Sycamore's. So our battle against Professor Sycamore is kind of falls flat because our only status move we can use is obviously Leech Seed, and the first Pokemon on his team is a Bulbasaur, which Leech Seed doesn't affect at all. So we're kind of screwed. So we got to go back to the basics, and we have to make him struggle. We run him out of PP all the way down. We do a lot of finessing and we get him down. Then we realize that it's kind of useless because the Charmander actually knocks down my Quilladin, and then we lose the battle, and it doesn't matter because we could lose the battle anyways and get past it. But the special thing is we could choose a starter from this, and we actually chose Bulbasaur because it learns a lot of passive status moves that will be very useful for us. And we're gonna keep that Bulbasaur on our team, especially with the XP share on. We're gonna train that thing very easily up. With this double battle fight with the Minun Plusso, it actually makes, I did notice you can't use 2 Leech Seeds on a Pokemon. You can only use 1 Leech Seed at a time, so that's interesting. We also caught a Venipede here because it learns Toxic leveling up, so it might be useful. We attempt to catch the Snorlax, but we run out of Pokeballs to catch the Snorlax. That's unfortunate because that could have been a really nice wall. Eventually knock out Pokemon, just stall them down. We got TM17, which is Protect, very good stalling move. Leech Seeding still throughout this cave, it takes a while. My Bulbasaur evolves to an Ivysaur, which is great. We black out against this Axew because we can't attack it, and we just Dragon Rages me down all the way. Now we head into the second gym of the game, which is Grant's gym, the rock gym of the game. And you might think it's easy, but we actually black out and lose our first attempt against Grant, which is a bit unfortunate, I will say the least, because these Pokemon are very strong. This takedown, Amura takedown is the strongest thing in the game right now, which is to destroy me. We come back, we level up a bit more, and we actually end up destroying his team a little more. Ivysaur still gets knocked down, but we Leech Seed down, and we lower the attacks of both Pokemon. We get paralyzed on a Quilladin, but we lower the attacks of Tyron and Amora, and we just Leech Seed down both of them Pokemon, and we beat Grant with our second go around. From here, we're gonna actually head into the Mirror Cave. We're gonna catch a few Pokemon here. We're gonna catch a Pharaoh Seed that just falls from the sky, luckily for us, and also there's another Pokemon called Wobbuffet. Wobbuffet is gonna be a very useful Pokemon on our team because it has only status moves, Miracle, Encounter, and Destiny Bond. Very great moves to have on our team, on a roster. Utility through the roof. From there, we're gonna head into Chandeleur City. We're gonna beat up Serena, and then we're gonna head into the fighting gym of the game against Karina. Karina's gonna be a bit difficult. We actually has a Pidgeot on our team, which is very useful. I'm gonna Leech Seed down the Mienfoo and then Poison Stall it, but also use Feather Dance to lower down his attack so we can gain more HP back each turn. And as well, our Pokemon's can get destroyed by Machoke, but luckily we poison it down, Leech Seed it, and then switch into our Pidgeot, lowers attack. And then Hawlucha, same situation, we're gonna lower his attack as much as we can, Leech Seed stall it, Poison Stall it, and then it's knocked down. So luckily our Pidgeot actually comes in clutch doing that. Reasonably, I didn't know you could just lose this fight, the Lucario Mega fight. You could just lose the fight, and then you still keep Lucario. I'm not gonna use Lucario. Lucario does not have that great of utility, so will not be on my team. From there, we're actually getting purchased some Lax Incense, which Lax Incense will actually lower the accuracy of the opposing Pokemon, so that's better for us. We're gonna keep coming back to that shop and get more of that as we can, but for now we're gonna only have one. From there, we're gonna actually head into the grass gym, and the grass gym is gonna be a bit difficult, I will not lie. More so because I don't have any anything besides Poison Powder and Leech Seed. Unfortunately, grass types aren't affected with Poison Powder in this game for some reason, and Leech Seed is not affected to grass types, so that's a big issue. The only thing that comes in clutch is actually this Pharaoh Seed. This Pharaoh Seed has an ability called Iron Barb. This ability, Iron Barbs, will actually do damage to the opponent if it makes contact with the Pokemon. So using acrobatics, using Grass Knot will actually make it take damage each time, and this is the only way. I'd start throwing Pokeballs at the opposing Pokemon just to waste turns so they can keep attacking me and knock themselves out with Iron Barbs. Pretty pathetic, and that's the only way we beat through the Grass Gym. We beat down the Go-Go, we beat down the Weeping Bell, and that's it for the 4th gym of the game, which is, I mean, gotta hand it to me. That's an interesting way to knock it out. I thought I was gonna be stuck there, but luckily Feral Seed was on my team. From there, we're gonna restore the power to Lumiose City, and then head into the 5th gym of the game, which is against Clement. Clement's gonna be the electric gym of the game, and obviously he's gonna sport the Amoga of the game, and I'm gonna be super annoyed because Amoga's very annoying. It actually knocks out my Pidgeot, which is unfortunate, and it's just gonna Volt Switch out too. So I'm gonna Leech Seed style the Magneton down. I wish it was a Magnet Zone, that would be cooler. And then eventually my Ferrothorn will actually just absorb all the hits and just knock out the Magneton. Unfortunately, I don't regain enough HP with my Ferrothorn, so I run out of HP on my Ferrothorn. Luckily Wobbuffet is in the back just gaining XP with the XP share and actually clutches things up for us and knock out the Amoga, and that will be it for Clement, the 5th gym of the game. We're gonna do a bunch of side quests. We're gonna get some new TMs. We're gonna actually head into the Fairy gym of the game. Surprisingly so, the Fairy gym actually does not give us any trouble at all. We're gonna start off the bat using Leech Seed on the Mawile, and then switching to my Ferrothorn, and then weakening it down, waste all its healing items, and then just weaken it down with my Ferrothorn because he's gonna physically attack me, and then knock on the Mawile. Then I'm gonna use Poison and Leech Seed on the Mr. Mime. Unfortunately, it does too much on my Venusaur, and so I gotta switch into my Pidgeot and then just slowly drain it down. When Sylveon comes out, I'm gonna use my Wobbuffet and just Miracle it down, and that will be the end for the Fairy gym. We're breezing through finally. Finally, we get a break through the game. Here we're gonna go to the Pokeball Factory and clear through that. Then head into the Ice Cave. We're gonna clear through Team Flare here and help the Abomasnow, and then we're gonna ride through the snowy area and then head into Olympia's gym, the Psychic gym leader of the game, which is one of the most fantastic looking gyms of the game. I love it. Unfortunately for her, gym quality is not based on design, and her team gets smoked very easily. She can send out her Siglet first. I'm gonna actually Leech Seed it down. It does have Magic Guard, so unfortunately I can't do anything on that. So I gotta rely on my Wobbuffet to Miracle it and knock it out itself. And from there, it sends out his Meowstic. I'm gonna stay in, and then I'm gonna decide to use Destiny Bond. It's gonna do a bit of damage to me, but I live a Shadow Ball. Destiny Bond down, it's gonna hit me again. I knock it down with Destiny Bond, and then finally it's gonna send out its Slowking, and obviously I'm gonna send out my Chestnut, Leech Seed it down, and also I'm gonna attempt to put Poison on it. Luckily I do outspeed it because I'm a few levels higher than it. And then from there I'm gonna slam on my Ferrothorn and just wall it down and knock it out. And then from there we beat Olympia, and we're gonna actually force to face Team Flare. We're gonna go through the hideout very easily. Then we're gonna head into a pretty easy Lysander fight. Beat that down, and then we're gonna finally face against Xerneas. We're gonna catch that real quick, head into the final fight against Team Flare's Lysander, completely destroy him with status moves, weaken down the Mienshao, and then send out my Wildfit to displace the Pyroar. Honchkrow will get knocked down slowly. It takes a bit, but it gets knocked down by Leech Seed and Poison, and a little Spiky Shield will help with my Chestnut. And then the Gyarados decides to come out, and I don't know what it was trying to do, because I'm gonna set up my Wobbuffet, and Wobbuffet's just gonna destroy the Gyarados. You know, it's gonna Aqua Tail me, but I'm gonna counter it. One hit KO and knocks out the Gyarados. Wobbuffet is such a nice Pokemon to have on your team when it gets free XP and just stays with the level of the team. From there, we're gonna actually head into a fight against Professor Sycamore. We're gonna destroy him, absolutely destroy him very easily, and then head into the very annoying bridge fight against all our rivals in the game. Apparently, we're gonna clear through them easily, and then head into finally the forest and head into the ice gym of the game, which is Wolfric. Wolfric is not too big of an issue. I'm gonna start off the fight against Wolfric using my Wobbuffet. Wobbuffet is just gonna displace the entirety of the Abomasnow, and that's about it. Avalok is gonna come out. I'm gonna poison it and Leech Seed it down. Unfortunately, that's the cost of my Venusaur, but then my Ferrothorn comes out. We walls down the Avalok, which is unfortunate for Avalok because he's supposed to be the wall. And then finally, I lose my Wobbuffet to Confusion, unfortunately, but then Leech Seed stalled down the Cryogonal with my Ferrothorn, and that is it for Wolfric. So it is Elite Four time, so I'm going to head through Victory Road. I have a new TM on my side, which is TM06, which is Toxic. That's going to be a very useful move because Toxic, in maximum 8 turns, a Pokemon with Toxic will actually get knocked down. So I mean, it's perfect for us. We're gonna head through Victory Road very easily, and then head into the Elite Four. The Elite Four of the game, we can choose any direction we want. We're gonna actually start off against the Steel type Elite Four member. Unfortunately for us, Steel types aren't affected by poison, so we have to Leech Seed down each of them. And the first one is Klefki. It's gonna take up multiple attempts because, you know, we gotta sit here and just watch Leech Seed drain it 3 times because it's gonna heal itself up both times, and then, you know, switch in Leech Seed, switch in Leech Seed. AE Slash, you know, fortunately knocks itself out with my Ferrothorn using Iron Bars, but that's fine. I'm gonna Leech Seed the Scizor and then Synthesis up with my Venusaur, knocking it down eventually. Probopass actually knocks out my Wobbuffet, so I gotta send in my Pidgeot and my Venusaur just Leech Seed it down and knock it out. From there, we're gonna head into the Dragon Elite Four member, which is, you know, interesting. Problem is, the first Pokemon is a poison type, so we can't poison. We still can't poison anything. We're gonna Leech Seed and then put it to sleep. Once it's Leech Seeded, I'm just gonna put Sand Attack on it so it can't attack me eventually, and then drain it of its healing items, and then knock it out. Next up will be Druddigon. I'm gonna use the same situation. I'm gonna poison it down. Luckily, it does not knock out my Ferrothorn, and I can Leech Seed it down, poison the Noivern and knock it out, and then just lose my Wobbuffet for no reason. But luckily, I Leech Seed that down with my Chestnut and knock out the Altaria. That's 2 Elite Four members down. Next up will be the Water Elite Four member. I'm a poison and Leech Seed stall down the Clawitzer. Starmie is going to do a lot of damage to my Venusaur, unfortunately, but Ferrothorn will clean up against the Starmie, and then Wobbuffet will actually knock out the Gyarados for me, and then beat the Water Elite Four member for me. Next up is Malvo. It's the only one I really remember his name of. It's the Fire Elite Four member. Luckily, my Venusaur actually has a special ability called Thick Fat. It reduces the damage of Fire type and Ice type moves against it when it's Mega Evolve, and well, that's exactly what's going to be done. I'm gonna Leech Seed and then Toxic stall down the Pyroar for me. I like the male version of Pyroar better, but you know, it is what it is. But the Talonflame comes out, it's getting Brave Bird me and knock me out, which is unfortunate. Luckily, I have a Wobbuffet in the back, which can counter and knock it out. Next up will be the Chandeleur. I'm gonna Toxic stall that down with my Linoone, and eventually I had to switch into my Pidgeot, Sand Attack that thing down, and then poison it down again, and eventually it'll get knocked out. And then unfortunately, I tried to Destiny Bond trap the Torkoal with my Wobbuffet, but Torkoal is so weak it doesn't knock me out, so I gotta go back to the basic. I'm gonna poison it and then just Sand Attack it down, and it'll die eventually. From here, we're gonna actually fight against the champion Diantha. She can send out her Hawlucha first. It's not a good situation for me. I sent out my Venusaur, switch back real quick, poison stall it using my Pidgeot and my Linoone. Tyrantrum's gonna come out, but perfectly stalled out by my Ferrothorn. And then the Goodrow has Zap Zipper apparently, but luckily I poison stall it again down, it will knock it out. Gourgeist gets the same situation, Toxic stall down. And Wobbuffet will actually finish off the battle using Destiny Bond and knocking out the Gardevoir. From there, we're actually going to the Champion Ceremony and face against AZ. AZ will actually have a Sigilyph, which we didn't use Wobbuffet for, I don't know why, but we're going to actually PP stall it all the way down. It's going to make it struggle to death, and then that's it for Sigilyph. And then we're gonna beat the rest of his team down very easily, but we gotta one more for the road. We gotta struggle it down, and that's it for the challenge. I hope you guys all enjoyed. That was a pretty fun challenge to do. A bit annoying. It made Gen 6 a bit harder for sure. So I hope you guys all enjoyed. Please don't forget to leave a like, comment down below some challenge ideas, and also subscribe if you guys are not already. My name is Alpha, and I hope you guys all have a great day. I'm out. Peace.